Well, there's such a willing spirit here, praise God, huh? I think I met my match at the Idaho camp meeting one year. That big auditorium they have on the campground, there was 1,000 people in there, and they wanted me to train them into small groups. So I had them in groups of 8. All over the whole auditorium we had people sitting in circles. In that centre row down the middle of the auditorium we had groups all the way down there, and there's one group right in the middle, very conspicuous, and people are sitting in chairs all looking at each other, but one woman turned her chair around and was looking away from the group. She did it deliberately. So I made an announcement and said, you need to be looking at one another now because we're going to learn to grow spiritually. And she just stubbornly sat there. And the whole auditorium is watching me. I said to myself, well, she has seriously underestimated me if she thinks she's going to get away with this, So I left the platform and I walked up the centre aisle. Everyone's watching. And I came to this little group. And this woman looked up to me with such defiance in her eyes, I couldn't believe it. And she says, there's nothing you can say that will convince me to move. I'm not moving. I'm going to sit here with my back to this group. I don't even like them. In other words, what are you going to do about it? So I walked over to her, got quite close, and I leaned over. And I said to her, excuse me using you as my scapegoat here. And I said, you've got 60 seconds. 60 seconds to turn your chair around. And what? I said, I will fall down on my knees in my loudest evangelistic voice, and I will pray for the conversion of your hard heart. And she looked at me and said, and you would do it. I said, believe me, I will do it. She turned her chair around. It was such a victory. Anyway, she came and thanked me later. She said, I had no idea how stubborn I was. I said, really? It only took me a few minutes to discover that. I said, well, the reason I persevered with you is because we can't grow alone. How do you become more loving alone? How do you do it? We are connected to one another. It's like my hand saying, I don't need the rest of you. It can't do even its God-given function unless it's connected. So let's make sure we've still got a couple of people yet that may not be connected. Let's get connected. Come on, connected.